All right, guys. Hopefully, we are recording with audio this morning. Let me just say good morning to you all. It is 8 a.m. on Sunday morning on the West Coast. Let's go through some charts. I just wanted to go through a few of the gap fill reversals and major resistance, pivot points, history repeating itself, yada yada yada. Just still getting some questions there on the board, so I just wanted to go through some charts there, so you guys have a video to kind of refer to and try to see what I'm seeing. The first things I want to go through, guys, are some gap fill reversals, some beauty plays last week. Absolute buttes. I'm still waiting for my stuff to get set up there with Centerpoint, so it's taken a little bit longer than I thought. So, I've been having to paper trade these this week and it's killing me. But some beautiful plays, absolutely beautiful. So let's go through some gaps here to help you guys understand a little bit more. All right, so we got how many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these gap fills. I just want to run through quickly, and let's get into it, guys. So the first one, this was an absolute beauty. VXRT. I think I was on the road when this thing was running, but when I took a look at the chart, and I was screaming at people to take it. I hope some people in the chat room took it and absolutely killed it with this trade. So on this day right here, we gapped up. Okay, this stock went on a run, a serious run. First thing I'm looking at, guys, I'm not looking to long it. When it's running, it's hitting my scanners. It's yelling at me. First thing I do, guys, is I bring up the daily while this thing is running, and I'm try to immediately recognize a trend, either a trend that I can identify, a gap fill area for potential reversal, major pivot point, or major resistance. Okay, so I immediately bring up the daily. The first thing I notice right here, boom, gap fill at 410, another gap fill in the 490s. So the first thing I do, guys, is I immediately draw my lines right here. Okay, I immediately draw my lines. Okay, so I'm immediately watching 410 and I'm watching the 490s to gauge the stock's reaction when it hits these areas. Because when it hits these areas, the chart history is telling me that it closes at the lows, okay, that it usually gets smacked down. Okay, these big wicks also tells me that the stock's trends is that when it runs, it gives back the majority of its gains and closes near the lows. This day it closed okay, but it still closed very weak. Closed at the lows, closed at the lows, closed at the lows. Red day closed at the lows, gives back all its gains. That's another thing that I'm identifying. Okay, we have a trend. So now I'm just waiting for the stock to get here. I'm just waiting and waiting and waiting. I'm not trying to scalp a move up. I want to see what happens when it hits its area. Okay. So the stock is running right now. Trade ideas will be yelling at me. Okay, what happens? Boom, it gets to this first gap fill level. Okay, big wicks. Okay, immediately I'm noticing, okay, this thing is struggling here. Okay, but there's a lot of volume coming in here. So I would be wary to take this right away because of how much volume is coming in here. I want to see the volume die down a bit, right? I want to see the volume start to fade before I'm looking to initiate a position. So it's pushing up, pushing up, pushing up. Boom, big pullback. I would start to look at this from a short standpoint and look for a curl to retest. Okay, once I get this pullback, this is what I'm looking for, a huge pullback. Okay, this thing was, 40-cent pullback here. I wanted to come up and retest it, right, after that huge pullback. So it comes up and pulls back, comes up and retests it. Huge volume pouring in here. So I'm pulling back. I'm not looking to jump in there yet. I want to see the volume fade. What happens? Boom, it busts through this gap fill level. Okay, the bulls are in clear control. So this is a gap close and go. So it's going to push up and most likely push up almost another 0.80 cents up to this next gap fill level, 490s, the other area we had marked out to watch. Okay, pushes up, pulls back. Now this is what I'm looking for right here. We get to the 490s, closes the gap. What happens when it closes the gap here, guys? Boom, bearish reaction, pull back, pull back. Okay, this is great. Comes back up, big wicks, big wicks. What else? What else do I notice? The buying volume is starting to fade. It's basically cutting itself in half here. This is another signal that the stock is losing juice. Okay, so things are starting to line up. It filled the gap. I'm getting bearish reactions at this gap fill level. Big wicks, just like here before up here. But my buying volume is starting to fade. So I'm like, okay, I would be watching this. As soon as we get this second pullback right here, comes up and tests, pullback, it cannot break out. It's proven to me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times that it's not breaking through. Okay, it cannot create, it cannot break out. It cannot get past this gap fill level, even on this big volume, 600,000 shares. That was a push up, so we won't look at that. But we got 650,000 shares. Sure, it broke through, but it closed below. Okay, so this is a wall right here. So I'm looking to go short anywhere, basically after the second huge pullback right here. And if it can't break out, I'm looking to go short anywhere in here. And all I'm risking is basically the gap area. A very tight risk. You could even risk the highs of here. You get in right here, right in this consolidation area. What, you got a 7-cent risk? So now that we've initiated our position, as soon as this trade is working in our favor, boom, what happens? Huge drop. Okay, clearly the bears are now in control. The stock has ran out of juice. It filled the gap. We're getting bearish reactions. We're in. Stock starts pulling back. Now what am I doing? I'm looking at the support levels. Okay, so it just comes down to support and resistance. Where am I looking to take profit? Okay, well, I typically aim for 2 support levels to crack on these trend reversals. But again, it comes down to price action. This is pretty ugly consolidation right here. I don't really count this as consolidation. You could try to validate something like right here. And then what happens? It actually kind of comes down and makes some very, I don't know, I guess you could call that weak consolidation. But it comes down, actually hits that level, consolidates here. I'm looking for it. Once it cracks there, I'm looking for it to come down and test these 370s, right? These 370s, even though it's really ugly consolidation, I don't even really call that consolidation, but I'm watching this area in here as well. Because comes down, boom, crashes right through this area. Okay, I'm in full control of this trade. Now I'm watching this area here. Okay, comes down, bounces off it, creates some lower highs. But this area now that it broke through, comes up to retest it. Look at this. It's turning into resistance. The bears are in control. It's turning into resistance. So what happens if it can't break out and push back up? It's going to come down and retest support. If it can't break out here on the upside, it's going to aim to break down to the downside. Comes back up, retests, cannot break through. The buying volume is clearly dying. It's going to come down and aim to retest this 370s area. 380s, 370s is what I'd be watching on the level 2. Okay, comes back up, and then look at this. The previous gap fill level at 410 turns into resistance. Okay, now we're even talking. Now I'm looking for even a bigger drop. What happens? Turns into resistance, comes back down to test this 370s, 380s, 360s, this whole area here. Basically drawing out support as it happens, because it's not really defined. It's not very clean. So I'm just watching price action. Boom, cracks through, and what happens? Closes all the ways at the lows, guys. Once this area breaks, has nowhere to go. Where's it gonna go? It's gonna go all the way back down to the lows, guys. There's nothing holding this thing up from the run. That's it. So once this runs, or once this cracks, it's going to go down, and there's nothing holding this thing up. It's going to go down here. And what happens? It closes all the way at the lows. I mean, if you guys want to play it safe, if I want to play it safe, I can take profit here. I can take profit, anywhere in these 370s to 360s if I want to play it safe. I got a great trade here. I'm up over a point by the time it gets down here. You know what I mean? You don't have to hold it all day long, but I'm just saying this is how I aim to maximize my trade. It just comes down to support and resistance. Once the stock starts breaking down, it's basically where can this stock go? Where can it go? Support and resistance. Mafia Trading 101. Mark out your support and resistance, whole and half dollar numbers, and your support and resistance. Watch your tape, watch your level 2. It will tell you absolutely everything once you've identified a trend. And that's just how I'm approaching it. So I hope that makes sense on VXRT. It was a beautiful trade. Like, Jesus Christ. You got 2.6 points out of a $4.90 ticker. You know, that's almost 50% return. Like, that's just crazy. Absolutely crazy. But again, you don't have to hold like I do. You know, you can take profits, you know, make a 50-cent move, or make a point move. You had almost a point even right here. So, you know. Next one I want to look at is DARE, D-A-R-E. This is a stock I played as well, so let's check it out. So let's go back to the daily. Boom, right here. So this stock was running, and I'll show you what these lines mean here. We'll go back in the daily. So this stock is running. My scanner's going off. It's chirping at me. It's saying DARE, D-A-R-E, DARE, DARE, DARE. Look at me, look at me, look at me. Okay, cool. Bring up the daily chart. Let's check it out. Identify a trend. Boom, right here, guys. Gap fill. 289. I'm immediately watching 289. Okay. I'm watching for this stock to run there. I'm looking to hit it and gauge what it's going to do. I'm also going to lay out some lines here. At the open price at 333, the high of this day, 357, the low at the 253, and I'm going to watch this $2 and 187 from where this stock gapped up from, because we did have a huge gap up. I'm looking for history to repeat itself. Okay, so what this stock is telling me here is, if this stock tops out at the 330s or 360s, it's going to close weak. Okay, it's going to close weak, close at the lows, and we could see a low of possible 278, 254, $2, 202s, and the 180s. Okay, so just remember these price points. 332 tops out here. We're looking at 279, the gap fill. 254. I should be like around 250s. Look at that, half dollar. Thanks, Mike. 250, and then the low here from where it gapped up from. Okay, the open and close. 202, 187. Okay, and look what happened. It basically completely repeated history, guys. So let's go into the intraday chart and go see what happened and how we could have traded this. Okay, so let's go into the trade. Forgive my DOS Trader Pro. In Canada, we got to give Thinkorswim 5,000 USD to get live data. And yeah, not about to do that right now. Anyways, so 9:30, what happened here? Okay, so 9:30, we basically open up at the gap fill level. So it opened up at the gap fill and squeezed up. Okay, right here. Okay, we're breaking through, open closes, closing above the gap fill. I'm not looking to really short this yet because it's not doing exactly what I want. Okay, we got a big pullback right here at the gap fill level. You could have taken this really short right here, but it bounced off the 250s. Okay, remember where we put the 250s? I believe it was the low of that day when it gapped up, or where the gap fill level is. Okay, came down, bounced off. There's still, quite a bit of volume coming in here. I wouldn't be looking to initiate that because you could get squeezed pretty easy. I want the volume to die off. And what happens? Boom, big squeeze up. 1.6 million shares on this candle to break through the gap fill level to push up to where? The 330s. Okay, we're pushing up to those 330s where we're watching it on that daily. What happens? It tops out. Big pullback. That immediately tells me start to look to go short. I'm looking at the volume on the 1 minute, huge drop off. Okay, now we're in business. I want it to come up and retest this area. I'm praying that it comes up and retests this area. What does it do? It creeps back up, retests this area, doesn't even get up to break the 320s. I immediately go short on this candle right here. This is where I'm looking to go short. Okay. I would have entered right here or probably right here, risking 14. I probably would have risked high a day right here at 20 cents. So you would have had a like 11-cent risk, but you would have been in control from the very jump. Okay. So now that we've initiated short, we have our price targets that we're looking for history to repeat itself. Not only are we looking at the support and resistance, here we have support right here. We also have support right here. Oh, look at this. It's the $2 range. Remember from the daily? That daily from weeks and weeks and weeks ago is still totally valid. In the pre-market, it came down and hit 202. Okay? Go back to the daily, guys, if you're watching this trade live, and look at where we marked out our charts. 202. I believe that was the closing price of that day when it gapped up. Okay? We filled the gap here. We had a low a day or closed at 202. This price target is still totally valid. Okay, so we're in the trade here. It comes down. We're watching this area first. We have our support area, or we have our price targets, 202s, 180s, and 250s. Okay, and look at this, guys. It's repeating itself. It comes down. I'm immediately watching this area, 260s at the support level. It just breaks right through, guys. It's just dying. The stock is tanking. Okay, we're watching this 250s. This was the low a day when it gapped up on the gap fill day. Look at this. It plowed right through it. The bears are in complete control. Where does it bounce off of, guys? 202. The price level on the daily that we're watching. We already marked those levels out. Bounces off 202. And look where it gets to, guys. The 180s. History repeated itself. You could have taken profit anywhere along the way if you didn't feel comfortable holding. You could have got a nice 40, let's say 40, 60-cent drop. You could have taken profit right at the support level right here. But the stock is just tanking. So there was no signal for you to get out of the trade. And this is just how I approach it. I'm looking at support and resistance, chart history to repeat itself. And it's amazing. It came down, went right down to that 202 level, guys. It bounced off, came right down, and went to the 180s. And you could have completely maximized that trade. Got 330. You could have got 230, 1 point, almost 1.5 points off of $3.32 stock. So almost like 50% return just on that trade alone. And history repeated itself to a T. I hope that trade made sense there. It was a beauty trade. And that's why I have price targets, and I used a chart history to help me set those price targets along with the intraday support and resistance. Okay, let's go through a few more. This is a big one. Okay. So I'm not going to name any names out of respect for the chat room, but somebody took a $28,000 L on this stock. Excuse me. This week, or should I say last week. 28K loss. And this was such an easy play. ESTR. This stock was running. Okay, this stock took off. Okay, first thing I do on the scanners is I look for targets. We have a gap fill right here, 280. We have a gap fill right here in the 360s. Okay, and we're looking at the top also, because this was the open. And this is a channel right here, and we also mark out the $4 area. Okay, so we have our areas marked. The stock's running, scanner's chirping, telling us to look at this stock. We immediately bring up the daily. Well, somebody that we know long this thing with a ridiculous amount of shares at the very top of this thing when you could have played this to a T, guys. Okay, right here, stock takes off. Boom, it takes off running, volume's pouring in, guys. I'm watching. Let's hang on one second here. The first gap fill, where's that first gap fill? 280s. Okay, so let's go back. 280s and then $4. Okay, so we've laid out our trend. Okay, we've laid out our trend, and we're just watching this stock run. Okay, so 280s, this thing busted through. You had a double top here, but the volume came pouring in here. Not huge volume, but enough to push it up. Okay, push it up, push it up. Now I'm watching this 360s. Well, it busted right through this 360s, but I'm watching at this gap fill, but I'm watching the $4. That was the top of the candle of the gap fill candle. Okay, that was the previous open price and the top of that small consolidation pattern on the daily as an area. What happens when it gets to $4? Boom, big wick, huge rejection, huge pullback. Okay, that's an immediate sign that the bears are in control. I'm getting a huge bearish reaction. Now, what I want to do is I want to watch this gap fill level. I need to see it regain resistance. Okay, so it comes back down, wicks off it. I'm like, okay, this stock, boom, immediately opens below, turns into resistance. Okay, I would immediately be going short here anywhere on these 1, 2, 3 candles. Okay, the bears have regained control of the stock. History is repeating itself. The gap fill reversal is in effect. Comes back down, retests, cannot break through, closes here. You could have gotten short here. You could have gotten short here. You could have gotten short right here. Now, this chart lacks anything to, a lot of chart history to tell me on the daily where to take profits. So I'm just basing this on intraday action. If this stock fails here, we have a small, bounce consolidation. I wouldn't really call that consolidation, but we'll draw a line there. I'm also watching this double bottom right here. I'm also watching these two candles here, wicked off here, hit here, hit here, hit here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 areas. So I'm definitely watching this 240s. Okay, so if I'm in here 360s, I'm looking for this thing to crack. Once it cracks here, I'm looking for it to break through like this 260s area, but it's kind of ugly as far as consolidation point. I'm definitely watching it at the 240s, and I'm definitely watching it at the 220s. Okay, so I already have my target set out. Now all I'm doing, once I'm in the trade, I'm watching the price action. I'm watching the level 2, I'm watching the level 2, I'm watching the tape, time and sales, and I'm just watching my candlesticks, and I'm watching the price action. That's all it comes down to. We have our price targets where we're looking to take. So once it comes down, support turns into resistance, bears are in control. We are definitely looking to the downside. The volume is tapering off here. It's definitely dying, 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 dying. Okay. What happens? Stock tanks, breaks through, breaks through, breaks through, breaks through. We come down and we hit our area, our 240s, and it bounces off. Okay. Bounces, comes back, retests. You could have taken profit right here. You could have taken profit right at the bottom of here. You could have even, if you wanted to, played it safe and took profit at the 320s. But it comes down, comes back down, bounces, bounces, bounces. This would have been an all-day hold, but you see that it closed at the lows. All right, it closed right at the lows, 222s. 240s. These are all magnet areas. It's just support and resistance, guys. The chart history didn't really tell us much as where we could potentially take profits. We were just looking at the gap fill to gap fill, and we're looking at the $4 area as those key areas. And then from there, because we can't get a trend or a price target off here, I'm just looking at the intraday price action, where I can get out, how I can maximize the trade, where I should be out by. This area was, I'd be aiming probably to get out the 240s. So once this thing dropped, I would have taken profit probably on this red candle coming down, or if it bounced and a hold, the retest here, I probably would have taken profits right in this red candle here. Okay, but always look at the chart history, man. Our famous YouTuber there lost $28,000 on this trade. He longed it at the top with a massive amount of shares when you could just clearly see that you shouldn't be even entering this trade until you get to the gap fill and check the reaction when it fills. Okay, so I hope that trade made sense to people. Yeah, let's get into another trade here. Let's get into another ticker. What are we doing here? We are going to look at ESTR, we have VXRT, DAR, ZUO. These aren't like huge movers, guys, but they are examples of gap fill reversals. Trying to see how I had this laid out. Let me just get rid of these. I don't know what day I was looking at here. Opened. I apologize in advance here. I'm trying to figure out where I had this laid out. I think I put this in the wrong place, ZUO. No, it wasn't here. No, wasn't here. Oh, I think this was this a gap down? I'll have to come back to ZUO, guys. I gotta figure out. I had these laid out, but I forget what we did here. What I was looking at. Let's see, where was this? I believe this was a gap. Yes, okay, so 11:30. Sorry, guys, I just had these laid out here. Let me just go back in the intraday here and give you some more reactions here. What we did. 35. Okay, so this on the daily. Let's go back here for a second here. Is this a gap down, gap fill? No. I think I put these in the wrong places as well. I apologize in advance. Yeah, for some reason, I don't know why. I don't know why this made it in. For some reason, I was looking at something else. Okay, so that'll be it for gap fills for the day of of what I had laid out. I'm sure there's some more, but I didn't have a chance to go through too much of the charts. Those VXRT, ESTR, and DARE are some really, really, really good examples. They're super clean, so I hope those made sense to you guys. I want to go into some history repeating itself as well here. I got some really good examples here. Let's go to BIBB. I don't know why BIBE won't come up here. Fuck, I hate DOS. Okay, let's go to AXSM. Okay, here we go. All right, so AXSM, this day right here. This day it gapped up, all right, opened, and it ran. I believe this thing was trading at all-time highs. Oh no, it wasn't. It wasn't, and this is why. So I don't see anything here, right? So I immediately have to go back to the chart history. So I went back in the stock in AXSM to 2015. So I had to go way, way back here to find out last time the stock was at this price level in this area. And it was back here in December 2015. Okay, so when this stock is running, I immediately go into the chart history, okay? Nothing's changed. I'm gonna zoom in here on this candle right here. This was my target. This thing was running. I immediately looked at this 1442, okay, 1405. And what what AXSM is telling me is I'm watching the price action, I'm watching it run. If this thing tops out at 1440s or 14s, like 1405 to 1440s, we can possibly see a low of this thing crash to 1245, 1215s. Okay, it closes at the lows. So this tells me when the stock runs in this level, it closes weak. Okay, it closes weak, closes at the lows, and we have some potential price targets. So now we have to go into the intraday action and watch what happens at these levels. Okay, so let's go to the intraday action and see what happened on AXSM. I believe it's right here. Was it this day? Yes, it was. Okay. So now, oh, hang on here. I don't know why. Oh, there we go. 1430s. I don't know why this fucking isn't translating. Fuck, I hate DOS. 1442, 1423. Things would be so much easier with TOS. Okay, guys, so look at this. Stock runs. Okay, AXSM is running. This is in the afternoon, so this wasn't even like an open play, right? Stock's running, scanner's going off, I'm watching it. So what happens when it gets up to the 1425 area, guys? Boom, it hits a wall. Nothing's changed. History is repeating itself. Now I'm watching the price action. Okay, I'm watching the price action, seeing what could possibly happen. Watching the price action, can't break out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cannot break out past the level. See this? Big wick, bearish candle. Double top right here, double top right here. I would be looking to go short anywhere probably after here, risking the 1425. Okay, I'm trying to get my entry as close to the top as I can with the tightest stop that I can. Okay, that's the goal. That's always my goal. Okay, so now that we've entered the stock, all we're doing is watching price action. Okay, so now what the chart history is telling us, we have our price action or our price targets set out. I don't know why I can't go back and start here. There we go. Right, tops out 407s to 1440s. Okay, we've recognized that. We have potential price targets of 1243, 1215s. Okay, so now 1245, 1215s. Now all we're doing is watching the price action, guys. We're just digesting what we're seeing. We're looking for his history to repeat itself. Why can't I go back? This is driving me insane. There we go. Okay. 1245, 1215. So what does it do? Bottoms out here, guys. Now it becomes a game of support and resistance and price action. That's all it does. So we've topped out. We've entered the trade. Now where's it going to go? When this breaks down here, where's our first price target? Probably around this bounce area right here, and also right here, and right here. Oh, look at that. It's 1245. 1245, 1215 from the daily, and also we're using the intraday right here. So, okay, breaks down. We have this level right here. Consolidate, consolidate, consolidate. Boom, break support. Okay, where's it going to go now? It's going to go to the next support level. Where's that next support level? Kind of in this area here. It's kind of ugly. Boom, breaks through. What does it do? Bounces. 1330s turning into resistance, comes back, retests the lows, 1279. You know, the volume is basically dead on this thing. So technically, you know, you probably should have taken your profits as it comes down. You're going to watch this volume to look to get in and get out, right? I'm just telling you guys, history repeats itself, okay? And where does this stock close on the day? Comes down, look at this, 1245. And that's not too, actually, that's not till the next day. Okay, but it eventually hit 1245, 1215s. But this area right here, 1245s, that was our mark on the daily. It's still valid because it turned into a support level that day. And this is from 4 years ago. So go into the chart history, guys. It tells you absolutely everything. It really does. I want to bring up BIBB. I don't know why it's not letting me. It's weird. Let's see what else here. I'm just going to try to see if I can bring it up anywhere else here. Oops. Let's see if I can bring it up here. No, it won't let me. This is a great trade, though. So I want to bring it up to you guys. Why won't it let me bring it up? One second here. Let me just look at my... I apologize, guys. I really wish I could bring this up for you, but I can't. I'm trying to figure out why this won't. Let me just go back into the chart. Here, I know I can bring it up. Is it BIIB? Maybe that's what you guys are probably screaming at me right now. No? Be patient here with me, guys. Let's see here. We'll get this. I'm gonna go back into the into our chat room actually because we were actually talking about this trade. Let me just see here. Let me go back through this. Oh, wait, was it this guy? Hang on. Oh my God. Okay. There we go. Here we go, boys. All right, daily. We're gonna go back to the daily. Awesome. Here we go. Booyah. HIBB. Huge gap up. Okay, huge gap up. Massive gap up. Immediately in the morning, what are you looking at? I'm looking at this wall right here. I'm looking at this wall. We got about 7 million resistance. This is the area I'm looking at solely. Okay, so I'm looking here. I'm also looking here. And we'll put one down at the lows as well. Okay. So what this tells me is that this stock, HIBB, tops out in the 1120s to 1150s area. It will close weak. It will close at the lows, and we can potentially see 20 in the mid to low 20s. Okay. Stock tops out here in this area. We're looking for it to close weak and close at the lows. And we have some basic price targets set. Sometimes they don't hit. As you can see, we didn't hit those targets, but it definitely closed at the lows. Okay. And if your price target doesn't hit on your daily, don't even worry about it. Just always refer to your intraday price action. Okay. So now that we have those areas marked out, let's go see what happened. So it gapped up in the morning. This is our pre-market action right here. Okay, pre-market, awesome, awesome, awesome. Big sell-off there in the morning. Big sell-off. Comes back up. Okay, we're still watching this 2920s, 2950s. You know, we're watching it. I think Angelo played this. we were talking about in the room. Okay, pushes up 1120s, big wick. Okay, we're watching this carefully. We're watching price action carefully. Breaks through 1150s. Okay, right now the bulls are in control. Right, there's no reason to go short on this because it's breaking through this 1150s. You know, it's holding support. It's holding support. Only here, boom, it breaks straight through, and that support turns into resistance. That's where it catches my eye. Okay, now we're in business. Comes back, lower highs right here. I would look to go short right here. The volume is dying off. Okay, we have some basic price targets set, but we always prefer to our intraday price action. Okay, so where's our support levels? Well, right here. Okay, so we look at the pre-market right there. We also have some around here. We have some as well down here. This is a really ugly chart. I don't like this as very much. We also have a nice double bottom down here. Okay, so we have some basic price areas that we're looking at, and it just comes down to support and resistance, guys. History is repeating itself. It's topping out. Boom, we're short. We're short right in here. What happens? It drops right away. Drops right down, 2230s. Hold number right here at the 22, or at the 22s. Okay, so you can basically take profit anywhere along the way, but history repeats itself, right? You just use the daily. It tells you everything you need to know about the stock, and then you're just watching your price action to determine if history is repeating itself, if you're getting a bearish reaction off those gap fills, right? It just comes down to basic price action. Now on the daily, what were those days that price action, our levels we were looking at? 23, 29, and I don't know why that made it there. Oh, we put that one in there. So we didn't get down to where we were hoping to on the stock, but that's why we always refer to the intraday price action, guys. Okay, support and resistance. It's not hard. You know, you could have taken profit right here, gotten short. You could have made almost a point just off that drop alone, guys. Okay, you see that support level right there? Let me just get rid of all these lines so you can see it a little bit clearer. Okay, so we're short right in here. Boom, here's your support level right here. There's your first one. Okay, you could have taken profit right there. Okay, comes back up, lower high, little double top right there. What's this gonna do? It's gonna come back down and retest this level. What happens when it retests this level? It breaks through again. It finds support down here. You could have taken support, or you could have taken profit along here as well. What does it do? It bounces off it. Bounces off it. Can't break out. Comes back down. Reclaims resistance right here. Support turns into resistance. Bears are control again. It's going to come back down. Retest support. Breaks through. And another price challenge you could have taken profit in. So it's just a game of support and resistance. That's all I play, man. Support and resistance, chart history. It tells you absolutely everything you need to know about the stock. So just pay attention to that. I hope these examples have helped you guys. I'm going to try and do some more here and try to do some daily trade recaps and try to contribute more to the Mafia page. If Mike's cool with it, if you guys are cool with it, and I'm just trying to be more involved and kind of get back to the page and try to help out new members. See, there's some newer members there kicking around, or maybe some long-term people coming back. So let's, watch the video, guys. Go through the charts, review kind of what I was seeing. If things make sense, awesome. If they don't, shoot me some messages. But again, I'm going to look to try to do more of these for you guys and get them tighter and get them better here for you guys. First one I've really done that I've recorded. So hopefully that helps, clears up some questions, and just reach out to me on the forum, man, inside Discord if you have any questions. So I'm more than willing to help you guys, and hopefully that clears up some more questions. But that's basically how I'm trading. I wish I could kill it like Mike on the short scallops. I really do suck at it. I'm working at it. I'm trying to get better. I really am. But for now, I'm just sticking, to what really works for me and what really talks to me and what I can really understand. So I will get better on the long side, and for now, I'm focusing on this and taking small longs, when the opportunity presents itself. So hope that helps. I'll quick babbling on here, and you guys have a good week. Hope everyone stays green. See ya.